Alright. So, I am going to get rid of my stock 1-to-1 rockers and install these. Let me get them out here. Chinese 125s. Don't know what brand they are. They don't even have a name on them. You know, they're like the $100 rockers. I actually got these on a trade from a guy, and he said they're scat. And as soon as I seen them, I knew they weren't. But it was an older guy, and kind of felt a little sorry for him. I just did the deal anyways. I really wanted carburetors, and I got those as a freebie. So I'm gonna have to take my rockers off. I'm gonna have to shorten my push rods to be able to do this conversion and redo my valve adjustment. And while I'm at it, I'm going to torque my lower 4 bolts for my heads. The other side, only one of them was kind of out of whack, but it was pretty good actually. And one other thing I'm going to show you guys is I was going to stroke this motor, actually the 1915, and this is an early model bug. And you hear people say, oh, you know, 1600 doesn't fit very well. You know, it's fit in there for me. But if you look, the valve cover braille is touching. And it's actually been dimpled right here and right there from somebody previous to me. And that may be why sometimes it's a little bit of work to get in there. Not incredibly difficult. But I was going to use my non-stroker pistons and just make the engine wider. Because all the bugs I've had before, I've never really ran into this problem. They're 67 and on up, and they have the 69 stroke. And I've had an oval, it didn't have this problem, but these were cut out and replaced with something else, and that was probably why I didn't have that problem on that motor, because that was a stroker motor also, though. That was a 2275, and this whole inner panel had been butchered by somebody else before that. But this one's pretty stock. They've re-welded on the bumper bracket, got bent or something. They re-welded it, but the panel's never been taken off. So this is the first time I ran into this problem. I've heard of it, you know, I just haven't ran into it myself. So that makes me think of the way that I'll do that 1915. I don't know if I'll do just a 1915 for now and just kind of put it together to run, which is probably what I'll do, or if I'll just bite the bullet and buy a $150 set of cylinders for the cast pistons. It's not the end of the world, but it does put a little damper in the plans. So that will be more thought in that project, and I'm going to get to work on putting rockers on. Okay, so try and get it to, hopefully you can see, I've gotten the rocker studs out, and I checked the valves here to see how much side play they have, and they got quite a bit. You can see all the soot in here. That's from the exhaust gases going by the exhaust valve. It's got quite a bit of play in there. But this engine has definitely been rebuilt. It's got 8mm head studs, which a single port never had. The heads look like they were pretty much brand new at some point. These don't have a million miles on it. And so in order to put this rocker arm set in there, it comes with new studs. I don't know if these are any better than what's in there, but what comes with it, I think they're supposed to be chrome only, but who knows. So I had to pull the old studs out for the rocker arms, which I just double nutted to pull them out. And now we're going to install the new ones. And I'll come back with a picture of that. So we got the new rocker studs in, and we got the lash caps on, because you're going to have to run lash caps with this setup. And I had already bought some earlier. Now the next thing is push rod length, which I have a whole slew of them here. I was hoping I could get away with these, which I believe are 40 horse push rods. See if we can get a better, see how the ends are there, and those are way too short. These are definitely, say, about Oh! Let's say half an inch shorter by quite a bit. And then those are the same length. Those are the same length, and these are the same length. Okay. Somewhere else in here, in my little box of goodies, I have a set that have been pre-shortened, and of course, it's not going to be any of those that I have laying around. But they're about 100,000ths of an inch shorter, and that's the set that I plan on using. So, I will come back when I find all that. We have replaced our old stock rockers with the, what I was told was 125s, but after I did the math, it came out to 1.43. So that's kind of a bonus. I got 1.4s on there. And the way I did this was not the most technical way. Let's see if I can show you over here on this old head. So what I did to measure my new valve lift was I used a straight edge, which is this ruler, and I laid it across up in the car like so. And then I used one of these, and it's got a nice little T-scale. It's another little roller. It measures in 64ths of an inch and 32nds of an inch. And it's got this little pocket protector with like a little T-square hanging on the end of it. Not the most accurate. But anyways, one of your valves is going to be pushed down. And then I held the ruler straight against the other valves because they are all at a neutral position. And then put the T part on the part that would hit the ruler, and then push down until it hit the retainer when the valve's at full lift. And that gives you, on this ruler, a number in either 64ths or 32nds, and on the back side of this ruler it has a nice handy conversion. And I did that before I started with the conversion, and I got 312 thousandths. And after we did the rockers, I got 406. And that is on both sides. I checked both just to make sure it wasn't kind of a fluke. I also did it on the same exhaust lobe on both sides of the engines just to kind of make sure. And I did it like 2 or 3 times to kind of get myself an average, and it kept coming up about that. So, like I say, not the most accurate way, but it kind of gave me an idea. If it was a 125s, that would have been quite a bit difference, you know. So that's kind of cool. So hopefully next, not right now, we will see if we've solved our carburetor problem, and hopefully we gained a little bit of oomph with the 1.4s on it. I'm expecting to have to readjust the valves because I had to cut 2 push rods, and I'm expecting them to pound into the seat a little better than what I did with the hammer. And then after that I'll probably have to go through and adjust all the valves anyway. And hopefully the valve train geometry is kind of, yeah, there's a push rod or 2 that should have been a little bit longer, but I already had these cut, and you know, just kind of cheaping out on the end of the day here. Instead of cutting a whole bunch of new ones, I just cut 2 because I was missing 2 of them. So to slightly match, and one of them came out a little bit shorter than the others, and hopefully that doesn't cause any real problems. So this is not a high performance motor. You know, most people just shim the full out of it, and this one actually needs the push rods cut because I tried to shim it and I couldn't. But I didn't know they were 1.4s. If I would have known that, that would explain that to me. So, we'll probably make another video of when I actually do get the car running. I'll try and wrap this one up because it's getting really long. Alright, so there we have it. Got a little upgrade on it, and hopefully we'll get going down the road, and hopefully these Chinese parts won't leave me stranded somewhere. So, until next time, if you're all watching, remember to like and subscribe videos, and get your car out there, get it running. Let's have a good time. And if I don't see you guys until then, Merry Christmas.